Great God's War Call.
Felix, the performer here.
Ira, the accursed.
The ever so charming Ryder Hopkins.
Rex here. Go for.
And I'm your DM. Welcome back to Misroll Adventures, where the players make plans and horribly execute them. In the last one, the party decided to effectively initiate, we'll say, conversation with the Church of Bahamut and the effectively the Pope. And in doing so, they are just tying up loose ends with the ever approaching siege that's going to be waging on the city. As well as that, they had a long, in-depth conversation with Tiamat, the goddess of all dragons, or of the chromatic dragons at the very least. But very quickly, the party gauged that this Tiamat is completely different. Almost as if they are a completely different person to the Tiamat that they have heard about, that the church or that the cult has been speaking of, and decided that it's possible that by segmenting her power and bestowing that across the different various words of power and boons to her followers, that it has changed her not only physically but also mentally. The cult, as it were, seemingly getting away from Bahamut's rule and almost being its own entity in of itself. So, making their way towards Tian, they are stopping off to drop Quinn off into Mechanus, as she is a segment of Bahamut, or she has a segment of Bahamut's boon, and there seems to be an entity that's collecting them some way or another, or it's just vanishing. Not entirely sure where that is heading. As they're dropping off Quinn in Mechanus and exploring the city within Mechanus, they came across a certain cat. Certain cat with a certain box. This certain box was able to convert two magic items into a different magic item, seemingly at random. Utilizing the Deck of Many Faces and a different magic item, don't even remember what it was because it was irrelevant at that instance. A singular card came out. A card involving a certain other deck, we shall say. The Deck of Many Things, in fact. Without real hesitation, Ira decided to draw the card from the box. And of this, it was, I don't even remember what it was called, but this card, all of Ira's magical items disintegrated, disappeared, and vanished from the physical realm at that point. All magical items. This included Wildheart, the encasement, the prison to Ismidius, the Archfey of Thunder and Lightning. Being released from his prison, immediately was filled with emotion that he had not had in a very, very long time, and just punched Ira directly in the stomach. But after a very quick respite of them attacking and fighting for a singular turn, Felix encased him in a bubble of immovable magic. A completely invisible bubble there was conversion. There was conversing. And some disagreement amongst the party as they were deciding the fate of Ismidius. While others were stating that they needed to slaughter him right there and then. Others were saying that they need Ismidius. But all of that seemed to have been a ploy, as when Ira and Ismidius made a deal, Ismidius to use Ira's body as a housing, Ira utilized the crest that Tiamat imbued into her palm to shake the hands and make the deal with Ismidius. In that moment, Ismidius seemed to fuel the crest instead of fueling Ira's body. What happened with Ismidius, people have theorized that he is now fueling Tiamat, as she is in a weakened state in comparison to her original presence. And that's where we left off. You all are still standing amongst each other in the city within Mechanus. The mistress and Quinn, Vaughn, and Bina are all wrapped up around just off to the side, away from you all, as this all happened.
We can explain.
Who the hell was that? Immediately, like, Mistress walks up forwards towards you all.
How do I word this? We used this cat device here, and I pointed to the cat. And we decided to give it one of my items and another item of one of our possessions to make a card. We didn't know what the card was, so we drew it from it, and then from what I can tell, the guy appeared. Which I think Ira should maybe explain a bit why he appeared.
Aren't Ira and Felix both just collapsed on the ground at this point from emotional exhaustion?
Well, you all have also heard of... You guys all knew of Wildheart.
Oh, what it was?
Yeah, you knew that there was somebody
Okay,
in
okay.
there.
Okay.
As
Ira lost
it-
all the magic items,
Yeah.
especially one that had you say certain creature that didn't get along with magic.
Specifically, one Archfey of lightning and thunder.
Yes.
Really wants the god of magic dead.
They were about to go free until Ira, smartly enough, was able to dispose of them. But we're all fine now. Everything's okay. Besides Ira being now having no equipment, almost.
Seemingly rolling up behind the group is that attendant that you guys first interacted with.
Robot thing.
Yep, the Soulforge walking forwards towards you. That was quite a spectacle, and at the same time, very threatening to this place. I suggest you do not do this again. And as you kind of look at them, they aren't looking and saying these to you. They're looking down and saying this to the cat.
Fucking god. Ooh, I was about to say, but like, it wasn't really us technically. It was the cat.
And the cat is definitely being talked to. Good.
And in that moment, you can see like the cat sort of like looks down, and it puts a paw on the box, and another sign comes out from all the other ones. Well, the signs kind of like retract in almost like a tape measure, and it puts its paw on, and a new sign pops out. My apologies. It won't happen again. It won't happen again. And in that moment,
I sent a message to Ira quick. Should we try to get some items from him, you think? If we make him feel bad enough? The cat thing?
You know, that's probably a good idea. I just wanted the cat again.
I go over to the cat. Well, if you really feel bad, especially with that outcome, maybe you should replace Ira's magic items. Look, you caused all this with what you did and what you gave to us. And because of that, that creature appeared, and Ira's out of items. I
Well
think
done
you
on
owe
the
us
game.
something, some compensation.
As you're
Jeez,
saying this,
break
fucking
all-
screaming at a cat.
Yeah.
The attendant does look to you, and the eye, singular eye, goes red for an instance.
Oh,
Do not forget that you were the one to bring them here. The blame does fall upon both parties, not just theirs.
we were just trying to get some magic items, and then this cat decided to give us a card from the
You're
deck
gonna
of
get
many
us
things.
skills. Shut up.
Before
We just wanted better items.
vanishing, the 4 gigantic mechs that landed surrounding Ismidius in that instance, they take a step towards you, Ryder. And they just kind of lean in down at you before shooting off into the air with a hole opening in the ever-spinning mechanical piece that is Mechanus.
I look at them and I say, "Thank you for trusting me."
After a moment, the attendant does lean back, look to you all. Be safe within Mechanus. And turns and goes back to the attendant stand. You can see the cat dripping in sweat. It sits down, puts its head onto the ground, and you can see it just kind of goes into like that long laying format of the cat, where its legs are just flat out behind it and its paws are flat forwards, like it passed out, before sitting back up, brushing itself off, and puts a paw in the box again. Pops out, and it says, "This is the nature of crazed magic, but we are still here because of you." Puts another paw in the box, another sign pops out. "If there's some way that I can repay you, then let me know." Looking directly at Ira and Felix.
Help me.
Puts a paw on the back end of the box. You can see it kind of lift up and spin and swirl before hitting the ground. And the lid pops up. And unnaturally, a large staff sort of just kind of elongates from the box towards you, Ira.
You know, this cat's never led me astray. It was me that pulled that card, so...
And what was the magic item that we talked about before?
Staff of the Archmagi?
Yeah. Just stronger version of the Staff of Power.
Heck yeah.
And then looks over to you, Felix. Presses the back end of the box again. Spins, lands, opens up, and a fairly large casing of half-plate armor sort of presses out and lands on the ground in front of you.
Thank you. Ira doesn't have armor now, correct? That was magical armor, wasn't it? That you
My
were wearing?
adamantine breastplate? No, it was just...
That's just a
metal.
material. Yeah.
Nothing magic about it.
No, okay.
Just metal.
If anything, I think Ira only lost the essence of life, the wild heart, and the staff of power.
And one of our rings. Or-
Oh yeah, but you have
Oh, wow.
you have 2 extra of
We have-
those.
we have
So,
spares.
yeah, you have an extra.
Our rings now doesn't work now since
This
we
is
don't
they're
have
non-complete. All of them ruined now.
All right, guys, we lost our communication.
Cat throws one at your head.
Oh god.
After the armor does come out and lands at your feet, Felix, he crawls into the box. Its head pops up from the lid. It gives a quick little bow, and then the lid closes, the box spins, and the carpet that it was laying on encases it, and then just disappears.
I have a feeling that's not the last time we'll see that cat.
Probably not.
He's pretty fun to have around.
Maybe we'll see him in the sequel.
Oh, whoa. Well, at least you got something good out of it.
Woo.
Wait, did I go ooh?
Down to the bottom left.
In addition to the cat now disappearing, it takes this long, but you can see one of the gem dragons slowly approaching. It takes him a while as he's been apparently
No.
getting up and walking this direction this entire time, but
Maybe we
it's
should meet him
just that
halfway.
slow.
Well,
That is true.
3/4 of the way there.
Yeah.
He's still only halfway there. He only just now passed Bina, Quinn, and Vaughn. So it would save a couple minutes for you guys to go that way.
We'll beat him
Yeah.
there, because
Well-
having him come to us would take longer.
The blue gem dragon, the sapphire dragon, as he steps towards you and you meet him halfway from his halfway state, he slowly puts his leg back down from his step. I have never seen something like that before.
Yeah? Is what you expect to
Felix,
see from
right?
people of the-
That was rather
Yes.
rude to interrupt me.
I apologize.
Get him.
Oh god,
Felix.
he's good. He's
You
good.
were going to do something that I would like to know what it was. That staff of yours, and he points to the one with the gem that you were prepping to rewind time on out of the fear of what was to come. Holding it behind your back directly towards everyone else in that group.
When do you have that?
Come, we would like to discuss with you. And he holds his hand out to everybody there. The green gem dragon raising a hand and doing another super slow wave.
I will join
Um,
Alright, so while Felix is spending 15 minutes to walk back, what's everybody else doing?
Oh, just talking just to Felix. Okay, I thought to all of us.
No, yeah, they're allowing Felix to join them.
Hey, Ryder.
What's up?
I'm going to use the staff to cast Reduce on him.
That's a saving throw, right?
Specifically on you, Ryder. Reduce? I think if it's a willing creature, just automatically.
Are you a willing creature? Alright, you shrink.
Yeah.
You shrink in half proportions in every way.
Okay, so what's your plan with this?
Kick
I
the
shrug
baby.
and walk away.
Don't kick
How long
the
does this last
goddamn
for?
baby. It's a good question.
A minute.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll be walking as fast as one of the gem dragons now, so I just start walking. Maybe a little bit faster.
You're still a
Maybe
little
naturally
faster than them.
Just sprinting to keep up.
Is your movement speed even reduced? I don't even think it is. You just hit for less damage. And you have disadvantage on like certain saving throws, I think.
I slapped my those. I was like,
So, Felix, after finally making it to the carpet where all these other gem dragons are sat, you can actually see some of them scoot over, making a small space. When they scoot over, you can see that where they were sitting is a very indented spot. They have clearly sat here for who knows how long, as the carpet is permanently embedded with a butt print from them. On top of that, you do recognize this as a magic carpet. So a magic item being permanently impacted by just sitting for that long.
Nice.
He reaches down after getting onto the carpet as if to pull you up onto it.
I sit down with them.
Alright. Pulls you up, and as you sit down, there's almost like a calm. This entire area in Mechanus, though being Mechanus and having that ever ticking clockwork that seems to be resounding throughout this entire passage, all of that kind of goes away. There's this calm air that wafts towards you as if you just stepped into a like a greenhouse almost. Their own private oasis seems to be resting on this carpet. It is very pleasant, very enjoyable, and almost too much to take away. But you know that you have your own duties and tasks to uphold. It's just very, very relaxing, as if you had just gone to the best spa of your life from just merely sitting here. We were intrigued by your tenacity and willingness to do anything. What was it that you were hiding from your allies?
A gift from Primus.
Several of them kind of look back and forth at each other. Wow. That's it. That's all they say. 3 of them in unison say that, but...
Would have given me the ability to turn the hands of fate and time back.
That is quite an interesting effect to have. I'm curious if you would allow me to see the next instance you use this. It must be very powerful and very limited in your use. But if I could see it when it happens, would you allow me to?
Use it right now. I fucking dare you.
Great, we're gonna have a scrying eye following us around again.
If we always had one, because I have one.
In this instance, he plucks out from his horn a single blue gemstone. If you place this onto the staff, next time you use that, I will be able to bear witness to it. If you do this, I will also grant you knowledge from a different past.
That is acceptable.
He takes the gemstone and puts it just at the hilt of your staff, and almost like magnetically, as it gets closer, you can see this blue spark to it, and it just goes and sticks to it. After a second, nothing seems to happen until the blue gem dragon places a hand onto your shoulder, and everybody can see, suddenly there's just this as the carpet almost like falters for a second. You can see it list just a little bit to one side before going back to normal. Felix's hair in that pulse just kind of shoots up into the air like he got a massive static electronic pulse. and then it kind of rests back down. You immediately feel, Felix, this knowledge of somebody else. You can see somebody else, and that image that you can see, you do recognize as the man that saved you many years ago. You can see him standing there, his back towards you, 2 blades in hand, as he looks over his shoulder, and gives a brief nod. Suddenly you are brought back from that image, standing back at your own, or sitting back on this carpet, with an unexpected knowledge of weapons, items. You can feel that your ability in your hands has grown. You become ambidextrous, and both hands are suddenly at the same level to you. You have gained the dual wielder feat.
I get up slightly and I bow to the dragons and thank them.
As you're getting off, they're still in their mid portion of their bow, but it takes them a little bit to come back up. After you get off the carpet, the one scoots over slowly back into his place, and they all continue their idle, I was going to say gossip, but they don't move or talk. They just kind of sit there idly.
Then we'll go back and join the others.
Vaughn, Bina, Quinn, and the mistress are very lost in what has all happened in the span of maybe a half an hour. Is there anything else? Is this normal here? For all of this to be taking place, for them, for that thing, the cat, the assistant, is all this normal?
Not sure about them, but this is a pretty average day for us, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is new for us, but for them and mechanics, probably new.
Every day is another form of crazy.
Oh, Felix, welcome back.
Well, speaking of crazy, Felix, you wouldn't happen to have 250 gold on you, would you?
Yes, I do. Here you go.
Oh, well, don't you pay us? I'm pretty sure Felix keeps all our
250.
gold.
I do have all the
Specifically
gold. I definitely
250.
have
All our
250.
Why do you need 250 gold?
I've been doing some light reading. Mr. Rex, your sword can plane shift us if you're attuned to the plane, correct?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Fire plane, here we come.
But I have to be there first. Like, I actually need to be into the place.
Here we go.
How,
by
how
myself.
long do we have to wait in a place before you become attuned to it?
If I remember correctly, yeah. It doesn't take that long. Like,
Zeus
hour.
pitches in. It takes approximately 1 hour to be fully attuned within the bounds of the plane.
Sorry, I forgot to send me. What's the other place that was attuned?
Oh, did I not? Oh, shit, sorry. Alright, hold on.
So by the way, does anyone else want to go to the gem dragons to get a gem in them or something?
Gizmo.
I want one.
Just put it in go. We should just get a gem and put it in Gopher's muscles. There we go.
Ooh.
A gem implant in his arm.
What about like
Ooh.
a sick necklace or something?
Yeah, I go for a sick necklace.
Ooh. Not a sick necklace. But a cool necklace.
I can tell you Zulusk is not attuned to Mechanus. I'm writing it out to you right now, but he is not attuned to Mechanus.
No, you should add because I told him to tune it for an hour.
Okay, then I will
Since we're
add
here,
it to this.
I mean, we can also just sit here for an hour afterwards anyway.
You've been here for an hour.
Yeah, we've been here more than an hour.
Well, we also have to go back to El Terrell and come back.
Also,
Okay.
I would like to note too. I can only plane shift one time until 24 hours. Then
With the staff, I can plane shift as long as the staff has a charge. But yours is a lot easier to do.
He can.
Yeah. Yeah. uh,
We can go as long as the staff is.
Come here.
In order to use the staff's ability, I have to have a magical rod worth 250 gold pieces that's attuned to a specific plane.
on a Pacific plane, so the weapon needs to come from that place, right?
The rod, I don't know if the rod actually has to come from that place, it just has to be attuned to it.
Yeah,
I
so
don't-
basically
Exactly.
all it is it's a tuning. It's a rod that was magically inclined to be utilized in this exact situation. So it's not. It doesn't get made. Generally, it doesn't get made in the plane itself, especially if it was like a plane of an elemental place.
What if we, hear me out here.
It's kind of like a
Before
tuning
the-
fork.
Before the
Yeah.
end, what if we take a day for ourselves? We just go to a different plane to see what's up. There must be a little kiosk here that sells tuned forks, yeah?
Oh,
like a vacay,
easily.
Kinda.
Yeah, let's go on vacation somewhere nice.
What is this posture that you're doing?
You know,
Well, I'm
after all
not-
this.
I'm still new to all this plane
Ow.
thing. When is the time difference be an issue? Given one of the time theories between planes.
Looks directly at Tyler. Yeah, Tyler. Is time dilation something we have to worry about?
Not
Highlight.
necessarily in unless you go to a specific one, but currently you won't have to.
But what if we want to?
Well,
From his answer, it depends on what plane we go to.
I'm also trying to find my notes of where Zalusk is currently attuned to. You're not gonna realistically find a plane that's gonna have time issues unless you go to specifically. Well, you wouldn't actually. So initially, the only place that would have time dilation issues is the Feywild or Mechanus. But that seems to have not been an issue when coming back from either plane. It seems that it has not occurred in either format.
Is your staff somehow playing a part in this?
You would recall that
Mechanist? Maybe.
you would recall that when you returned from the Feywild, the only issue that seemed to have happened was Jacqueline forgetting everything that happened in the Feywild.
Don't. I think
Who?
Gopher and Ryder would be the only two who know about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For ease of ever returning here, would we care if I pay 250 gold for a rod attuned to Mechanus?
I mean, if these guys, if Quinn and Beta and stuff are gonna be
Yes.
here, it would be easier for us to get here, and we don't have to waste a teleport helmet charge to come here.
But
Or
I
potentially
mean,
Rex's, because he can take us further, more places.
Yeah. His is easier to use though, so right?
Well, I just have to have the rod. There's just an upfront cost to it, and then after that it's free. long as I can cast the spell. But he has access to more places, and his are easier to get a hold of.
No, I mean, if you want it as a backup to Rex's, I'm fine with that.
Alright, so yeah, you get spending 250 gold pieces to get a tuning fork to Mechanus, and Zalusk can attune to Mechanus for free. So, all it takes is for you to strum one of the 7 branches when he is in that Shijishito form. So basically, it's when you draw Zalusk and it goes into that status, you just have to strum one of the extra branches off the blade, and it'll attune so long as you have been here long enough. You can have a dual tuning party.
Wow.
I think it already is.
All right. There you go then.
So,
You now have a tuning fork to Mechanus, and Zalusk is attuned to Mechanus.
Perfect.
so I assume you lot are going to remain here for now?
Vaughn, Quinn, and Bina begin to walk towards the attendance booth. Vaughn looks over to you. We're just going to go discuss with them, looking up into the air, about what we can or can't do. I will be joining you shortly once I get this situated.
So you'll ask what they... Do you want to also ask about a place we could stay?
For all of us to stay.
Well, because we have to go get the stone for Primus.
Oh, that's right. Right.
So you, me, and the mistress will have to go. Because that's the one we have with us. Or do we have the Maven with us?
You have the mistress. You're going to go to the Maven and stay at Neverwinter. But
Alright,
that
we're
changed.
doing that now tomorrow, grabbing her before we go
Yes.
to ETN instead.
Yes. So now the plan has changed from going there, staying at Neverwinter, and then going to now being going back, grabbing the gem, coming back here, and then staying in Mechanus. I can do that if you want to go and grab the gemstone and then come back. It's oh shoot. I really need to go alongside though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come along because you know where it is. The mistress has to come because she's gonna get us there, and then I'll get us back. So at least the 3 of us have to go. I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah, okay. He gets down, looking at Quinn. I'm going to be right back. Okay? We're going to go bring the object back to Primus, and we're going to make a home here for you. For now, okay? And you can still see she's got like red kind of puffy eyes, but she just gives a nod. Let's go now before we waste any more time. Assuming time is a thing. And he looks all around as that loud clicking is still a factor, and this large, indefinite passage continues to shift mechanically.
Have one thing I'd like to try before we go, and I feel like it's gonna be better on the material plane to try it. I Ira, would you be willing to step out of Primus with us for a second?
Maybe if you elaborate as to why.
I would like you to try contacting Tiamat. I have a question I would like to relay to her before tomorrow's negotiations.
Sure.
I feel like trying to contact her from Primus might not be the best idea.
You can see the attendant's head just.
Hi.
Yes. Let us depart.
Anybody else want to do anything or go along with while they're doing this?
I don't know. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You don't mind I tag along, you guys?
Sure.
Might as well go along.
Gopher, do you want to come along too?
Okay.
Is everyone just coming with now? I was.
He was hoping
You
you
guys
were
are
hoping
just
to go by
coming with
yourself.
because I asked Ira to come with. I was just planning we go outside and I let her back in if she'd like.
So, okay, so it's a private conversation.
It's not private. It's just I wasn't planning to have her come all the way with us if she didn't want to.
Do you want to, Ira?
Well, to be quite honest, I am tired.
Sushi, what the hell? Fucking just knocked everything off my desk, you little demon.
Good job. Good job, Sushi.
Well, I guess you guys can have your own private conversation. The rest will stay here and eat sushi and clean up this mess that Sushi made.
Oh, I want sushi.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna go to Kyoto.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
wait,
come,
you-
I'll
you
come
wanna-
talk to her, and then I'll
Your
come
mom.
back and I'll have sushi with them.
Alright, Sushi.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So, so we're leaving Gopher, Rex, Ryder.
We're making sushi.
A sushi date with
Yeah.
a third and fourth wheel. Excellent.
Well, you say that. Remember, Bina and Quinn are also here.
And a fifth and a sixth.
And a child.
We're the whole goddamn convoy.
And you can see a couple hands come up from the gem dragons as they hold up chopsticks in their hand.
I cast Reduce on that dragon.
Oh god.
Let me get my dice out. Nah, fuck it. One of them's as he puts up his hand, you can just see when you start to cast something, one finger just goes bink, and your entire spell is countered.
I'm going to absorb that counter spell.
Well, what level
Are you guys gonna
is
have a
it?
conversation, or is this a battle of the spellcasters here?
Now that's just.
I don't mind
flinging of
either
magic.
or, because it's entertaining.
That level, how does a counter spell work? Is that a leveled counter spell? Because we might have an explosion on hand.
It is a leveled counter spell.
How many charges would you say the staff has between a number of 1 and 50?
I would say it only had probably half of it,
Okay.
just because it. Getting a better look at the staff, you can tell it's kind of used.
And abuse.
I think that
Why is
cat
it
gave you
sticky?
its staff.
Same with your armor,
Getting
Felix.
better.
Your
Okay.
armor seems to be worn.
Like, bro.
No.
Was this repurposed armor off dead people?
What the hell's my dice? Not dead
Is it
people.
real?
Grave robber?
Maybe. I mean, let's be real. It's how armor.
Tisha can
kind-
fix that.
how some armor works. People have found it in, Did we find armor in the tomb?
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's less likely that it is off of dead people, and more so that it was of others trading in magic items to get something else.
Who traded the staff away? I want to meet this person.
You see, it has
Well, I
the
mean,
initials
the person who had the
GF
staff
on it.
might have been. And the
GF.
person who traded it in might not have been able to use it. It
Yeah,
might have
get food.
been an item from a former companion who was either left or dead.
Sometimes I wish I had silence for you, specifically.
Strange, I saw a sign scroll on sale in the store while I was walking here.
Anyways. So,
Let us go outside.
take a step outside. Are you actually? It would have been a. You would have recognized the spell on you and only would have cast it at 3rd level that you were casting.
My reduce. My reduce.
Anyways. So, you step out of
I'll go find
Mechanics?
the nearest payphone and I'm gonna call up TMS.
Okay. Oddly enough, a payphone forms out of the door, out of the gateway.
Oh. Felix, do you have a silver?
I feel like they might be tapping that line. Be careful.
Do you have a silver piece? I can't pay for the.
It requires a silver piece. It says a bronze piece for me.
It's pretty
Bronze.
expensive, I think.
Bronze? That's very
Just
rare.
imagine
The bronze piece.
I
in
bum a silver
comparison
piece off anybody.
to-
Oh no, wait, I have one myself.
Pull one out of your ear.
And what's her number?
666 666 8008. There you go.
Oh, perfect.
well,
So many sixes. And there's a single boob in here.
well, I mean, you just be careful. Don't make it all 6s. Then we call Asmodeus, and that's not gonna be good.
Well, I think it's too late for that.
Oh shit.
Hi, this is your acquaintance, and we are calling on behalf of the rest of them to have a meeting with you.
So, okay, so you're calling Tiamat to get a hold of her, or for her to manifest?
I just need a singular question passed on. She's already planning to manifest tomorrow at the thing. I just have one thing I want to relay to her.
Oh, she actually can't manifest today, anyways. She's already manifested once today.
Yeah. I just need to.
So you call her up, dial on the hell phone. The very first thing is you say, I have a question to relay. The very first thing you hear is, who did you send to me? What just happened?
Is your fridge running?
If it was running, it's
You're gonna
exploded.
do a prank call and run away?
Isn't that what you do? You prank call the gods?
Is your
No,
refrigerator
we
running?
actually have an actual thing to do.
They're gonna actually have a refrigerator running at you as a threat.
Whoa.
An animated fridge.
Wait a minute.
That's a little
I
too
don't
much
feel
for
safe
us.
anymore.
We just have a single question. You know us. We talked to you this morning.
It's just, I feel different. It's
Different.
significantly
my bad.
stronger.
I pick up the actual phone with my other hand, the one that has the seal on it. Is that better? Do we sound clearer? On
Yeah,
here?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Apologies.
Oh.
To just make things quick and simple. You said you didn't know really what you wanted. Would you think on that? And so we have something to use in tomorrow's negotiations of something you'd like to do now that you're not exactly after creating all the chaos and eating.
All I actually want is peace at this point. I'm tired of the fighting, tired of all this. All of this. I don't know what I would want after that is achieved. That's what I'm lost on. I don't necessarily know what it would be to have a theoretical normal life.
That's fair.
I'll try to come up with something before tomorrow.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
How was your late night snack?
I enjoy referring to him as a late night snack.
So, I said I felt different. And I do. Felix, you feel a raindrop, followed by another raindrop. And suddenly the clouds above you form into a large storm cloud with pulsing lightning and thunder occurring every now and then. This is new to me. Know that I'm still in full control of this. And you can see it immediately parts. The darkened clouds just sort of split after the very brief rainstorm. I was just not expecting it so soon.
I think it would be fair to say we didn't exactly expect that either.
Says you.
I'm giving a side glance to Ira.
Ira's been thinking of this the entire time before even Tiamat made the crest. It's like, I'm just gonna eat Ismidius.
Master plan.
Alright, well, if there's nothing else, I'm fairly tired, honestly. You can feel that connection sort of just sever.
Oh, she fell asleep.
CP and EP. Alright, Mr. Felix.
Is all I
You-
needed. Thank
Do
you.
you have another silver piece?
You're gonna trick. Oh yes. Tink.
6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
Whoa.
You get left on
Hey,
busy.
Asmodeus, is your fridge running?
You get left on busy.
You should catch it. And I hang up.
It's a voicemail.
I thought you were going to call Maximilian.
Damn.
What's Maximilian's phone number? What is it?
Do you have another? No, he's only 606, 606, 6060. He doesn't have enough sixes
Perfect.
to actually be threatening.
Another silver.
Man, Primus is making a mint.
Hey, Maximilian. Hello.
I'm trying to think. Don't necessarily think this should be working anyways.
I can hear you breathing on the other end.
It's this ascending phone.
Hello.
We just failed the chance to get to Asmodeus, and now we're trying some.
I am very busy. What do you need? Who the hells are you?
Is your fridge running?
My refrigerator. Yes, it's running.
Then maybe you should go catch it before it gets away. And I hang up.
As you hang up, you can feel the phone getting warm. And
The
then
payphone
the
is on
phone
fire.
then the phone liquefies.
No, good.
No!
So there's no more calling available.
Damn it. We had so much more silver.
Just call up every denizen of hell and ask if their refrigerator's running.
It's a valid question. It's hot down there.
Call up Zerial.
Alright. I will let Ira back into Primus.
She can go
Go
there
have
herself,
sushi.
technically. She has.
Oh. If you wish to let me back into Primus, would you like to cast a spell at me a very high level?
No, I can just pull my staff and turn it to the right. Instead of Mechanus, go to Primus.
I don't want to talk to him. I use my own staff and I cast plane shift without
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She can absolutely just go willy nilly now. Does it cost any charges to use plane shift?
7, which is why I wanted a powerful spell cast at me.
Mm.
Is that why you? Is that specifically why you aimed at the gem dragons?
Maybe.
All right, so you are now left out here with Mistress and Vaughn.
Yep.
So are you going to be making your way back to El Terrell and then back here? Correct?
Yep.
Okay. And you do have 2 charges, so you can do that very easily.
No, I don't. I
Do
only
you?
have one.
Oh, oh no, that's right.
That's why the mistress is here.
Yeah, she can do it once. So okay. So you go to El Terrell. You peer outside the gates like you always have. You start making your way in. Vaughn looks at you and states, so when we moved Quinn, we moved all of her possessions as well. The brothers, and he looks at you like with a knowing look. They were able to store them. We didn't think to bring everything, so I'll grab whatever remnants there are and then go from there. You all go to the Chid Chad Ched Shed. Make your way in. The
Felix forever. We ever went here.
the brothers are there. They look at you. The Chid and Chad are there. With their differing lengths of Fu Manchu mustaches. But they see you walk in first, and then the mistress, and then Vaughn. And when they see Vaughn, they look around. Nobody else is in the shop. Is there something else that you needed? I'm just here to gather a few things, and we'll be leaving again. They direct Vaughn into the back. You can hear some rustling, some movement. Comes back out with a number of things strewn across a backpack. Gives you a nod and then proceeds to walk out the door. Mistress looks at you. Are we ready to leave then? There's nothing else really here for us if he found what he needed.
One last thing. I'm gonna give the shed 50 gold.
For your
Uh,
service.
Chid looks at you with a gracious nod. Thank you. It's, honestly, it wasn't needed, but I appreciate it. In that moment, after you step outside, Mistress will use her daily teleport and take you and Vaughn to the door once again.
Okay.
Alright. So
Well, I guess
you,
the three of us will make our way back to give Primus the stone.
yeah, it won't be. We can easily move that because all it was is, unlike before, you've already seen this happen. You bring it up to the Primus steps, you go up to that large rim, and you hold it out in front of you, and his mass sort of just elongates from the sky, falling directly in front of you before it is enveloped in masses of mechanical strings. Unlike before, which also stemmed the staff, this time it does not stem anything. When it comes back, you can see that there is a brief light that emanates on the base of the city. And I say city, it's more like a town of Salem sorts, where there's just some buildings and then like a center middle area. An additional building gets formed in there, just out of this sheer light. Building looks to be made of stone, brick, many materials that would be defined as a material planes type of building. That building is then hovering off of this side, as it is just a front door that elongates off into a building from the rim of the entire plateau that's here. Plate, effectively. And at that moment, everybody's now reunited in front of this building. Is anybody want to do anything? Otherwise, Vaughn and Quinn and Bina will be entering said building.
I'm enjoying my sushi, so no. I got nothing.
Cuts away to everybody on their own small carpet that's just on the ground with sushi plates and chopsticks in front of them. Soy sauce and spicy mayo.
Party going on now at this point. Everyone who can eat sushi's eating sushi in Mechanis.
With a small flick of a finger, one of the gem dragons conjures another plate of sushi.
Wow.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Are there any houses for sale here?
You do not see any for sale signs.
Damn it.
Yeah, I thought our main
Considering what it
goal
takes
was
to renovate a place, you might think these are not houses that are sold, but theoretically earned, maybe?
Maybe once we set everything right, we can have like a timeshare here.
in the middle of all of them having sushi, this is bright light. And a house forms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right in the middle of the road.
Oh, my commute is gonna take forever now.
Why don't you just cast haste on yourselves?
That's actually just everybody. Everybody perpetually has haste on them, and that just moves at normal speed.
I was gonna say, I like the idea that the Gen Dragons say we already do.
Even slower. So, the house is formed. The house is pretty spacious. It looks to be about 3 floors, a basement included, and it stretches out a fair distance. Easily could probably accommodate for 10, maybe 12 people. Do you all just rest here, or did you want to do anything?
Well, there's always Gopher.
Yeah.
could absolutely, if you both are willing.
Are you willing?
I
I've
guess
been waiting for
I'll
to
give you
ask
guys
for
your
years.
alone time. I'll go take a walk.
What the?
Can go take a walk. I mean, they can have a room.
It's a big house.
It's a big house.
Big house.
You didn't.
So when you
Didn't say
enter
what
it,
You know what?
size
You
of the
get,
house.
you get
Okay,
downstairs,
that is
the
fair. I
downstairs
said
basement room all to yourselves.
I only said there was 3 floors. I did not specify how many rooms. So when you enter into this building, the front of it looks to have everything in this building is masoned stonework. Some are bricks, some are stone, some are marble. But in any way, shape, or form, everything within this is made out of stone apart from the furniture. All the furniture is made of this deep reddened wood. Redded wood. That is a brighter hue, but contrasts almost perfectly to the stonework that is the ground and the walls themselves. Sitting atop any of the furnitures is a wide variety and assortment of flowers, cushions, bedding. There, on the ground floor itself, there are 3 rooms. You go upstairs, and similar sort of aesthetic. There's 2 additional rooms, and then there's just the basement. The basement itself seems to have a masoned workshop, as well as a furnace. Quinn immediately feels right at home with this furnace. Jacqueline's not here, but it looks identical to the furnace that she had while being within the shop previously, in that like hidden underground passage. So Quinn has effectively taken hold of the basement. So there are 5 rooms for everybody else to be acquainted with. But so if Gopher and Ira are having their own room, and Rex is going out for a walk across the plate, is there anything that anybody else wanted to do before we call it a night?
It's mating.
What did we say it?
You forget your rubber ring.
Shut your face.
I still need to hear it. I'm missing a good inside joke here.
Look, I'm an innocent
Tyler,
boy,
all I
alright?
know Is Mason beat me to it.
God
Goder's not an innocent
Damn it.
boy.
Ugh.
Tyler is.
So the plate falls just to the right, and the entire house just slides off the plate.
My house.
Only
No.
one that's left is Rex, who is not in the house.
Dang.
Anyways,
How could you do that to a child, you monstrous DM?
you don't even realize. Look, this is D&D. No child is safe in D&D.
No, no.
Goddamn right.
Kids die all the time in D&D. I mean, fuck. Max, you know, we were just playing Baldur's Gate on Thursday. That kid didn't survive that one.
Yeah.
No, he did not.
Anyway,
Kids.
No,
the harpy did.
Why are you a murderer?
he ran into a loving embrace with a harpy.
Well, that's his own fault for failing all his wisdom saves.
Yeah, he not only passed and ran away, but then he failed on the last turn with the last harpy that had 4 health that was surrounded by 3 of us. The harpy decided to kill the kid, basically out of spite.
Oh my
Like-
god.
And I hadn't saved since before we fought the goblins, so I don't care.
Oh god.
Anyways, so Rex, are you doing anything while you're walking, or are you just going out for a walk?
Just going out for a walk.
Okay. Then what we will do is we will call it a night. Everybody gets comfortable. It's perfect temperature. Each room is also accustomed to the individuals that are residing within it. So you can make it hotter, you can make it colder. Shut up. And everybody enjoys a nice long rest. 10 days remaining till the siege. I can change it this way. Oop. There we go. Alright. And Ira, you recover 5 spell slots that you can utilize to recover your spells.
Wow. That's everything. 'Cause I think I only used that one spell this time.
Yeah, I figured as much. But is merely there. As you sleep, you can feel, as grows the devotion to the black, so too does your strength in recovery. Everybody wakes up. You wake up comfortable and rejuvenated. Magic items all refixed up and all this good old jazz.
All right.
Might be time for me
What
to
was-
get my dice out.
Might be.
What? Are we gonna initiate your plan?
Plan.
Plane shift?
You're the only one who can plane shift back. I could only bring us here.
Well, we have Felix take us out right now and save my plane shift for another time.
But,
Are we ready to go talk our friendly Pope, quote unquote?
Well, we're gonna go pick up the Maven first,
Oh,
and then
Or-
talk to our neighborhood
we
friendly
leave.
Pope.
there's something I got to explain. After our battle with Asmodeus, it occurred to me that the problem is not with the gods in particular. It's that they themselves are too selfish to realize that they hurt others. And I was falling into that exact category. My actions were entirely selfish. If we are to prevent this catastrophe, then we also need some sort of defense to keep the rest of them in line, especially over the material plane where they claw and fight over it like animals. So, I think what I'm trying to say is, once everything is settled, I am not going to kill the Raven Queen. I think I might try something new.
so what's this new thing that you have thought of?
Is it on par with killing a god?
No. All I want to do is keep them out of our home. Keep their meddling away. So, at the end, if you all wish to stay with me, we can keep our home safe.
Keeping the gods out.
Is it
That
something
seems-
more get more followers to follow you?
The plan hasn't changed, it's still the same, but for a completely different end.
I would need to think on it.
I guess the question is I have a feeling there isn't you don't have an answer to this. It's how broad your idea goes. There are those who rely on the gods for their magic power.
I don't mean cut them out. That's reckless and dangerous. I just want to prevent things like this happening again.
So maybe create a new order.
A shadow government, if you will.
A sh-
You know what?
become a
I like the
shadow
sound
god.
of that.
Where we control what the populace knows.
Oh boy.
We'll send people around in the wee hours of the morning into your home to murder you in your bed. There's no safety. You cannot hide from us.
There is no god. Huh?
Oh.
Well, Ira, I'll say this. Since we're all here together facing this circumstances of danger, I'll stick by you. And help you what you need.
Help each other. It's really the only thing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure out exactly how did this end game will play out closer to when we get to it.
To do it right and make sure that we don't turn into the very thing that we are fighting now.
Correct.
But I've wasted enough time with this. We have business to attend to.
I can't remember. Was Vaughn coming with us for the negotiations to represent El Terrell in them? I don't remember. Was he staying with Quinn and Bina?
So he's sticking with you because he cannot leave El Terrell in its state. He is still the second-hand command of the Order of the Gauntlet, so he cannot leave perpetually. And without a
I knew
means...
that. I couldn't remember. I just couldn't remember if we were hitting multiple things or if he was... Where we were also getting Bina there because he was going to come with us to the negotiations.
He's coming with you to the negotiations as as a representative of El Terrell, effectively. Though how much he'll be there is, or how much what he will do there is subjective, considering it's literally you're bringing 2 dragons to talk to the Pope.
No, that isn't right now. For some reason, I went, no, wait, there's going to be 3 there. Yeah, there's going to be 3 there.
One's not gonna be necessarily.
Oh, 3 dragons. I see Lynn was trying to be a dragon as well.
Well. No, yeah. Anyways, so you have a few options. You can either use the teleport helm, or you can just plane shift there.
What?
Because isn't that how plane shift works? Is you plane shift from Mechanus to there? Could you not just do that?
Does plane... I didn't think plane shift allowed you to choose where on the other plane you went.
No.
There were like specific spots you showed up in.
Let me double check. I'm not too sure.
I think it just tells you use plane shift to a place.
I don't actually know. I don't know the spell very well. Let's see here. Plane shift. You and up to 8 willing creatures who link hands in a circle are transported to a different plane of existence. You can
Nope.
you can
Well-
specify a target destination in general terms, such as the City of Brass on the material elemental plane of fire, or the Palace of Despater. So you could just choose Neverwinter on the material plane, and you'd appear there.
Well,
Well,
I guess we can go be.
Alternatively,
Go
if you know the
somewhere.
sigil
This is cool.
sequence of a teleportation circle, you can also go straight to the teleportation circle.
oh, that'll be that's actually helpful knowledge.
Yeah, you could use that to go straight to El Terrell, considering you know that there's a teleportation. Or a Dragon Spear, because you know one's being made there. You'd have to see it, but
Well, that we do know a teleportation circle specifically.
that's true. You know the one in...
The Unicorn Keep.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
How you know about that? That's supposed to be top secret from us.
Felix is the one who found it.
From us. Us specifically, we cannot know.
With a teleportation circle that we've also told El Terrell about and they used to get people
You
out.
never know. You never know, Max. Never know. Rex is gonna stab you in your sleep now. You know too much. Die. Anyways.
Plane ship behind, Pacific behind. He'll just
Plane ship behind him. Gonna go to another plane just so that way you can plane ship behind Felix. Anyways. You have options in your transportation.
We'll use the teleportation helm.
Okay. So you leave Mechanus and you teleport to Neverwinter. Where are you teleporting in Neverwinter?
Probably our usual areas nearby the gate, slightly off to the side, so we're not. No.
Didn't want to teleport to the sewers and then just go up through the shop?
You want? No, I don't want to risk that. I don't want to risk them having repurposed the shop, or now somebody else owning that shop. Just barge into some person like, who the fuck are you guys?
It has been like a month, so.
It's like, there's a chance if the Sparks have repurposed it, we could be like, hi, we're the people from headquarters.
We're the ones that are here to help you. It's
If
some
someone
random.
else owns that shop, we're gonna be barging into some poor folk. We're gonna give someone a fright.
Okay, so you teleport outside the gate, and none's the wiser, and you can make your way inside Neverwinter. There's no barred restrictions, nothing like that. So you can make your way to the Grand Maven's Hall, where you recall the last time you saw the Grand Maven. Ira, especially. Going towards the Grand Maven's Hall, you can tell that there's a number of higher guard count. There's significantly more defense put in place. The guards that are walking before were just there ensuring that if there were crime, that it was enforced, but they were pretty haphazard about paying attention to it. Now they seem to be walking with purpose. They have a destination in mind and are walking to get to said destination. They are significantly more, for lack of better words, strict on what they are doing. They seem to have more guidelines to them than before. So, making it to the Grand Maven's Hall, you can open up the door. Once again, you see the extravagant, almost fey-like plants that seem to be resting within this area. And the attendant, or the receptionist up front. Wow, it's been some time. How are you all doing?
We're doing well.
Great, great. Are you here to see the Grand Maven then?
Yeah, she should be expecting us, although she should have been expecting us yesterday. I
Yes,
don't think anyone
she.
told her we were going to be delayed.
Yes,
I
she
just
was.
realized that right now.
She was waiting, but since you guys didn't come, all she did was she still cleared out her schedule. She was expecting to be busy for at least the next few days, so her schedule is still clear for today and tomorrow at the very least. Anyways, she's just inside, so feel free to go in. I'll just give her a quick bell, and she takes a bell from the side and just gives a quick ding, and you can see the door open up with the Grand Maven standing there in the doorway. Hello, everyone. Come in, come in.
We'll make our way in, I guess.
After everybody's inside, she closes the door. Great. All right. Hello, mistress. It's been some time. How's it going? And those two share some pleasantries, but apart from that, I was expecting you yesterday, but I figured something came up. Are we still?
Yes, I don't remember how much we've informed you of. I can't remember. Is she one of the ones that got informed about Quinn?
No. I don't believe so. Well, no, I think she would have. Yeah, no, she definitely was, because Quinn has a boon from Bahamut. So.
She knows there's a fourth, but I don't think we've ever discussed exactly who it is. I don't remember. I don't remember if...
I don't remember either. I assumed that
it honestly would have been
was.
the mistress who would have passed it on, I'm pretty sure.
Regardless, we'll just say that either she knows or she knows now. Doesn't seem perturbed by it or anything.
Perfect.
Are we still planning to speak to the head figure of Tian?
Yep.
Okay, so that plan still hasn't changed. Good.
Nope.
So, as you are in here, are you just going to go straight to Tian? Are you going to discuss anything? Are you going to do anything in general? Or are you just going to effectively initiate this plan?
Honestly, I think the best idea would be trying to figure out a neutral ground that we could meet outside of Tian, but that wouldn't take either party more than a day to get there.
So how are you going to get in contact with the head figure of Tian then?
Yeah, I get. Well, do either you have the ability to do that? I feel like he would be more accepting of being asked to come to negotiations out at a place outside of Tian from one of you two.
See, the Grand Maven pitches in. The mistress shakes her head no. The Grand Maven pitches in. I do have a means of contact. The problem is that he's shut us out. He's been held up inside the capital for a while now. And he's refused meeting with me before. Diplomatic causes, mind you. It wasn't anything as severe as this, but he's wrapped in his own head.
Well, we do have one advantage to get him out of it.
What would that be?
We do have information on what happened to his wife. You know for a fact that whatever happened that day, both she and one of Tiamat's both the fragment of Bahamut she had and the fragment of Tiamat that were lost that day, both are just gone. There's a third party involved. Feel like we. There's one thing I know about him is it'll definitely pique his interest.
I can try. I can send a spell to him, asking him to meet at a different location to discuss the events that took place during the battle between him, his wife, and one of Tiamat's chosen. Where do we want to bring about this meeting?
I would assume while outside of Tian, still nearby. I don't really remember anyone having grand teleportation magic in Tian.
No, they do have a teleportation circle, but that's not going to play a factor here.
So I feel like we teleport to outside Tian and go find an area?
Find an area within Tian, or are you talking about outside of
No,
Tian?
outside.
Okay.
Outside.
We could do that.
It's just.
What's
Then
everybody
finding
else's?
the area out in the field would give us time to prep.
What is everyone else's thoughts? Ira, I'm curious to hear your opinion of this.
I have no qualms about it. My only concern is if things do go badly, how do we get out?
I'll have a teleport because of the way we're doing things. So I can teleport us all out.
That is under the assumption that we don't get countered.
Yeah, that's an assumption.
That's a fair point.
They probably have preparations to cancel all escape plans as possible. So we need something more solid. I know it's not probably guaranteed, but at least we get something.
Well, you say that like we're still. Hopefully those should be limited. This is why I want to do it outside of TM, not inside.
If only we had another bomb.
Jesus.
I'm kidding, by the way.
We're just gonna turn into an international terrorist.
We already are.
We already are.
Staying true to the point.
Jesus.
That was such a bigger blast than any of us predicted or thought.
The odds of him meeting us specifically. Are you talking about your group or just me and the mistress?
Oh.
If we're going under the guise of just you and the mistress, what are the chances? We'll be there regardless, but if he's only thinking that it'll be you two there.
The idea of bringing up the circumstance with his wife, and if it's just me and the mistress, he may come alone at that point to discuss, or he might bring his close guard. That actually would be more sufficient. They're aware of who he is and what we are. It's a very select and finite group, so you may be able to look at 8 people in total, one of which including his right hand. You've met her before.
Yep.
Simultaneously, if we're trying to get into his good side, this deception might not be the best anyway, and we might all have to be there anyway.
Yeah, the deception part is the part I'm worried about.
It's going to be a tough decision no matter what we do. Because if you go into the actual capital, you go into the Capitol building, you're going to be resting inside of a hornet's nest, so to speak. With just a word, the Queen, the Pope, effectively, could just have hundreds upon hundreds attacking you.
Oh, I also don't like that plan because teleporting is how we got out last time.
Right.
Definitely would have had multiple times to prepare countermeasures from us teleporting out of there if things go south. In there.
The odds of him meeting me and the mistress is going to be, in my opinion, maybe a 50-50 chance. It was some time ago, and with his change, he might not be perturbed by any new information. He might just ignore it all outright. On the other hand, if he hasn't lost his full humanity, he could decide that this is imperative to him and means something on a deeper level versus on just an information status. It's going to be a gamble, nevertheless. But if it's under the guise of just me and the mistress, then it doesn't necessarily impact any future endeavors if we were to go with something else. It's likely our best case scenario is it's our best shot with the best case scenario of he does come out, we discuss, and a positive solution. Worst case scenario is he doesn't come out in general. He is the chosen of Bahamut. He is the strongest of any of them. So trying to get everyone into a safer place is probably for the best. Someplace outside the city. If this guise doesn't work, though, we will have to come up with a different solution.
Well, if it doesn't work at that point, unfortunately, I think us marching in there with the summoned avatars of Bahamut and Tiamat is gonna be our only other solution. Otherwise, it's gonna be because there's no way we're gonna be able to plan. We're gonna have time to do the rituals inside the town.
If they refuse to come out, then we lay it all on the table, and we march straight towards there.
Yep, we're all gonna have to go in there and just march our way in.
The mistress looks at you.
Avatar.
That's quite the bold move.
It's honestly all we got.
We don't have time for anything else.
We don't have time for anything else, and we definitely do not have the resources for anything else.
We have about 10 days. Maybe 9 days and 1 night.
It's my ritual is a one shot, one use.
Our best chance is the Hail Mary. It might
So-
behoove us to just march there now, and not even bother trying to get them to come out.
Yes, I don't.
Well, this is going to be a group decision. What is everybody's take on this? Ryder, Felix, or not Felix, Ryder, Rex,
Gopher.
Vaughn, even.
Hmm.
Anybody else?
It's a tough call. It's a tough
is.
call. but I do believe if we could, talking it out would be ideal, if possible.
I mean that's not the part of this we're discussing.
Talking
Oh.
talking
We-
him out, I think is what you meant to say.
Yes.
Like bringing him outside the city.
Yes.
No. Rex, Gopher.
Vaughn pitches in. If things were to get ugly, as you're saying that he is the most powerful out of all of Bahamut's chosen, if things were to get ugly, other people might get in the crossfires. And I say fires in a literal term, looking at the Grand Maven and the Mistress.
If you lot want to try to have them persuade him to come meet us, I'm fine with that.
We can try that. If it fails, then we can go with Iris' plan then, I guess. We are limited of time and resources.
And who knows, maybe we don't even have the option. Grand Maven pitches in. If we go to Tian and don't find a suitable location to have this meeting, well, then maybe we don't go with that solution anyways.
Yeah.
We would
Well,
need
I
someplace
guess-
secluded.
At
What's-
either of these meetings, when our presence is made known, Ryder should be the one to take point on this.
Oh, that's a surprise. Hmm.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't care what you think.
Yeah, once I figure out how to break the ice, I think I could probably talk our way through it.
If I recall, though I wasn't there, he held a great deal of anger towards Ryder. So,
Yeah.
so Ryder bringing this up might actually
Whether
be
you-
a positive, because if he's the one to discuss, it showcases the direness of this. Because this is a dire situation. And he was the one that read Ryder through that vision, showcasing this is what the curses, the boons that Tiamat gave out, those words of powers, this is what that would be brought. Now that those are all gone between Ryder and Rex, we have a little bit more leniency with what we can and can't say. Before, you were limited to not discussing the words, the powers, yet he knew of them anyways. This way, you can actually leverage that against him, showcasing that it didn't happen, that it did change through a different means. I believe that might be where...
I still think I have the advantage, being as I am and was. I am a follower. I was a prominent member of the church. They know I can speak to Bahamut directly.
Well, in all honesty, I feel like a lot of this is going to come from Tiamat and Bahamut to begin with. It'll likely be a group effort.
Yeah, as long as we all could pitch in, I think. I think we can get our point across.
Feel like mainly me and Ryder taking second point. The two of us doing most of the talking is our best opportunity.
I look over the other three.
Looks over to Gopher. Yeah, I don't necessarily
Good.
think Gopher has, not the finesse, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying I don't think you have anything to necessarily apply to this. Well,
What?
that's not necessarily true, because you did have direct sight into what Tiamat was once before. The conversation will likely have to be played by ear, diffusing what needs to be done and discussing what needs to be said. The current decision is whether or not to take him out of the city, and it seems like we've come to the decision that he does in fact need to be out of the city. And if he doesn't agree to come out, then we'll go and march.
If it does come to the marching, I do think I have to take the majority of the point in that scenario.
Likely, yes, just due to the fact that it is a religious foundation around. So, are we going to head to Tien then, so that way we can look to try to find a suitable location? What would be the best suitable location, even? Just a place out of sight? A homestead? A large farm? What are we looking to try to glean for the altercation?
Is everyone ready then?
Ready as best we could.
Yeah, no preparation needed.
I've been
We'll
ready
see
for
what-
3 hours.
Ever
Let's
since
go
we woke
see
up.
what we can find. I'll teleport everybody.
To Tien, outside the gates, because obviously.
Oh.
Definitely out the gates. It's
Just
like
fucking up here
rush.
in the what is it, the Guild Artisan camp? Or the Guild Artisan building with all the fucking wanted posters and shit. Just poof, we're
Or
here!
somehow teleport to where the Pope is.
Well, you could theoretically have done that. You've been in there. But no.
I'm more worried about if I assume if they put things in place for us teleporting out, teleporting in is gonna be equally as resisted.
Well, anyways, you appear outside of Tien. So, going away from the gates, you're heading more towards the Sea of Swords. That's often the center of the entire world, effectively. And you see a number of locations that are opportune to you. There's an abandoned building a fair distance out. And I say fair, it is like several miles. So like if you're trying to traverse and go to find a suitable location, it's going to be several miles out from the actual gates of Tien. As this continent is known for its farmland in Rumestan. It's very flat plains along with only a few mountainscapes at best. There's not a ton of suitable landmarks. Following the river and then to the right, you can see that there is a like a type of bog, almost like a swampland. Traveling further down the river, you can definitely see like there was the abandoned building, probably likely an overgrown farm. If going any further, you can see that there are acres of rotted crops and unkept land itself.
Roughly how long of a
Following the river,
less than an hour journey?
it's probably a 2 to 3 hour journey.
Then I think this abandoned homestead's our best bet.
Is there anything else, Miles, within Tyler besides that?
Due to the acres of farmland, there's nothing at least in sight. Across the river, and then probably a good mile from there is that bog. Otherwise, it's still quite a few miles to get to the Sea of Swords. It's an unrecognizable distance away. But other than that, there's no other cities. You don't see any other homes, especially anything nearby. If you were to...
So Stead's abandoned. It's a couple hours away from Tien, so we have time to prepare.
Alright, if this is where we want to be, then everybody get inside. Let's tidy things up just a little bit, and then I will send the message to the leader, the Church of Bahamut. And
Oh,
Going
actually,
ins-
before then, is there a way to like, maybe like a zone of non-detection around this house? It wouldn't have that sort of thing.
are you afraid that they're going to take a look beforehand, or...
Yeah, I looked beforehand, and who knows who else could be watching slash listening in.
Are you wearing?
hmm
Hmm.
You know, it may also bring the Pope more sense of safety to come out here if we do provide some of this protection as well.
Looking over at the mistress, the Grand Maven like locks eyes with the mistress. Mistress does give like a shrug. Yeah, I do have a way of doing it, but I have to. Let's just say that hopefully it's just him, and that not some random pedestrian walks in. Because I have to be in my draconic state to do so.
Does the home or is
We can wait till you.
We'll have to
if we ever
move
do,
everything. We'll have to move everything around, but I could possibly fit in here.
well, I guess how intact is the house, or is there like
Not
a
great.
barn?
It's well, there is a barn. Yeah, you could actually probably do this in a barn. That might be better suited.
I
Hey, we
feel like
keep
a barn's
reducing her.
gonna be better for us. It's more space, and I feel like it's gonna just be quicker for all of us to get out of the barn than the house.
That's fair. Yes, there is a barn. Barn's not kept very well either, though. There's less furniture, and most of the like the feed in there has been either taken, eaten, or rotted away. So it's pretty much empty in there, minus a few like tools here and there. There is a second
Well-
floor to it as well, though any of the draconic dragons are not gonna fit up there.
Okay, so what we can do while we get in contact with the Pope, maybe we could set up the meeting to be in the barn, and then as in move some stuff around, maybe some furniture from the house to the barn, just for space wise.
Let's see. Just because I don't know if there's going to be necessarily a lot of space. The mistress will go to the barn first. She closes the doors behind her, and you can hear the sound of sudden shifting. Mass not only being formed, but also bending, cracking, and forming. And you could definitely hear some breathing on the outside for a few seconds before it calms. Then after a moment, you can definitely feel from the windows, like the overhanging arches that are way up too high for you to actually look into, you can actually see some speckled dust sort of flying out in this colored hue. This copper flakes almost as they're floating out and then encompassing a space around the barn. Well, considering she actually formed and is enacting her scales, we are likely in the clear. So, let's go look at the barn, see if there's enough space, and I'll start sending the message. It's going to take him probably 4-ish hours to get here, just because he also has to leave Tian and then make his way here.
Yeah. All right.
By the time he gets here, it'll likely be about midday. Maybe closer to 3 o'clock or so.
Okay. We can
So-
take this time to set up and make things more comfortable for him.
So you go into
Some
the barn.
Snacks.
Go into the barn, and you can tell there's not a whole lot of space. There's space, granted, but that space is pretty much encompassed by an adult copper dragon. You know.
Yeah.
But there'd be enough space. So she nestled under an awning or under one of the lifted floors. So she's still saving some space. Not a lot, and she looks a little cramped. But apart from that, she's able to fleck some of this copper dust into the air with just a quick flap of her one wing that's not inhibited. Every now and then she does that, and it sends out more and more of these copper specks into the air. There's enough space to probably set up another table. Maybe a couple chairs. You could probably get a couch in here. Maybe even a bed. There is a ladder that leads to the second floor. The second floor is basically about the size of an attic. It's not big, but it's enough space that a few people could definitely be up there comfortably. All of you could be standing up there, but the wood inside of this barn isn't necessarily well intact. You could also possibly just completely remove the second layer through sheer force if needed.
I mean, do we really need it? It can give the dragon more room if we get rid of the second floor.
Surgical Eldritch Blasts, you say?
If you would like to remove the second room, at this point, the Grand Maven has sat down and is sending out the spell sending. You can see her eyes kind of close as she's contemplating what to send.
I count as no.
She will cast it again. It would not be.
Oh.
It would not be hard.
Counterspell.
No,
You
Cindy, we're not ready yet.
schmucks.
We're not ready yet.
We gotta clean. Gotta wipe stuff down.
Clean.
She sends out the spell. And after a few moments, she lets out a sigh of relief, it sounds like. He's agreed to come. He is actually deeply concerned about information involving his wife. So that's good. He still has
Humanity.
his humanity. Okay. That's good, because that means that he's possibly more malleable to this discussion. So we'll wait until... Do we want to bring Tiamat and Bahamut here when he's on his way, or do we want to do it when he's here?
Probably want to try to finish it just as he's arriving.
Okay. Then in the
Give us
meantime, I'll stay outside
Or well,
and I can keep an eye for him.
give us let us know when he's a few minutes out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
we just have some few minutes to discuss with the two.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. So you have about 3.5 hours. Is anybody doing anything to prepare?
Is there any like any drinks in the house?
No, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
there probably was once liquids. They're now kind of congealed and gross.
If you could
Nah,
like get a
we'll use them.
No,
You do
moonshine.
have the alchemy jug from from
Ah.
Gopher. You could easily just
Yeah, he's got
pour
the
out
cups.
some drinks. Yeah, there's definitely cups there. You just gotta clean them off a little bit in the river. You're good to go.
Yeah, we do that. Get some like some tea or even alcohol if he wants ready. Get some snacks. Maybe
Mayonnaise.
get some like rations here and just make it on a snack bowl. Some
Some
nuts
M
and
and
berries.
M's.
Already
Exactly.
got
Very beyond.
Yeah, I already got alcohol in the alchemy jug.
Yeah, Gopher makes
Because that's all
mayonnaise. So
Yeah.
God.
some condiments. You need condiments. Need it with. How do you think you got the
Just have a
spicy
bottle-
mayo in Mechanus for your sushi?
Ooh.
Just have a mustard, a bowl of mustard just sitting on the table with us when we're talking.
People,
Mustard,
people
nothing
put.
else.
Yeah. just a bowl
Oh
of
God,
mustard.
gross! People put pretzels in mustard, and it's so nasty.
That's good.
Oh, yeah,
No.
that is
Doesn't-
pretty good.
Oh,
Well, doesn't the alchemy jug also do like jelly or jam?
sure. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Tyler, sure.
It's a
why-
condiment. Why not?
I would
If you
assume
can make
with our
mayonnaise,
we'd
you can
be able to
make
have some
jam.
Wait,
Yeah.
cheese, Some
The po- the
sliced
Pope
dried
is
meat,
old.
Crackers, jam. It's literally a charcuterie thing.
You're gonna make some fucking tapioca pudding? Is that what you're gonna do here,
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yeah, some like pudding stuff, cause so you have to worry about chewing on it.
Little prunes.
I do
Is
recall
there-
the Pope being especially fond of cranberry sauce. I don't know why.
Cranberry sauce.
I mean, look.
Specifically
So-
the sauce.
It's
Ooh,
jelly, just
cranberry
cranberry jelly.
wine.
Ooh.
Cranberry
For the
wine, that's
crackers and
good.
stuff.
I haven't
There we
had
go.
that. Is that actually good? That doesn't sound bad.
What?
Cranberry wine. Is that real?
It's pretty
It is
good. Yeah, it's probably one of my ones I only drink. Would only
I'm gonna go
drink.
raid the fields for cranberries.
I would join her.
Well,
That-
I mean, our one of these rations probably has some like dried cranberries.
we pick out the rations. Just any cranberries we can find.
Gonna start getting technical. Now you have 35 segments of 75% rations.
That
Write it
for,
down, Jordan.
for 18 hour rations. There you go.
Okay, there we go. I'll change it. Give me like a minute.
Fucking no. Anyways. But yeah, you can definitely clean up a little bit, set out some food that you can generate.
Nice.
Toss some good berries around.
Does somebody have the spell good berries?
It sounds like no one does.
And I take a level in Druid until the end of the session, specifically for good berries.
Sure.
Excellent.
Oh my, perfect.
I produce 6 good berries, and then I forget what I was doing, and I lose the level.
He's like, I'm so in touch with nature. Makes the berries. Wait.
It's the
fuck
cranberries.
nature.
I will only allow the good berries if they are cranberry good berries.
Oh, of course.
And we
Well, I'm sure in the field I found some good berries that are cranberries. Are they good berries? No. Are they good berries? Yes.
Huh.
All right. You still have some time.
So we got some cups. We got the wine. We got some cranberries and maybe some other stuff just in case. Cranberry.
I think
jam.
normally the alchemy jug has like a once a day thing, and I'm like, nah, that's not fun. just
Yeah,
do
Golden
whatever you
can't
want
get
with
pissed
it.
drunk.
Well,
No,
I'm
you
pretty
could, you
sure
can
the
get-
limitation is to each liquid one, or each thing it can create. It can create it once a day. And there's
Oh.
an amount, but
Whatever. So some time passes. Time gets a little bit closer. Fear of what's to come is starting to kind of hang in the air. The anxiety of how is this conversation going to go? Before we actually get to that, is everybody just going to be waiting at the table? Are you some people going to be up in the rafters? Or did you remove the second layer entirely?
Oh, it's all gone.
All right, second layer been drawn out,
We
thrown
used all
outside.
of the we used all the wood to make patio furniture that we're all
Sounds
sitting
good.
There you go.
Some lawn chairs, hammocks.
Yeah.
You know.
in. A hammock made of wood.
God.
that
Splinters
that doesn't sound
galore.
comfortable and sounds so uncomfortable.
Basically a suspended coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If everybody is now just going to be waiting.
I would assume me and Ira would be have our rituals we need to do prepared
Mhm.
enough that we could complete them
Yup.
at a moment's notice.
Iris is significantly easier to do. As
Don't forget.
what?
Huh?
What?
No, don't worry about it.
Sure. Felix has to set the book out and will effectively ignite the book to have Bahamut arrive.
I'll tell you this, he has to drop the book, and he has to draw a perfectly circle with diagrams inside.
Well, so he
Some
does have to make
ancient writing.
sigils. He does have to make some sigils around the tome. They don't have to be like perfectly symmetrical because nobody can make a perfect circle. Can you?
I could try.
That's
But
what
you
I
can't.
thought. That's what I thought. Anyways, you get your ritual set up. The doors to the barn open and then close behind as the Grand Maven opens and closes it. He's on his way. He'll be here in just a few minutes. She meets you on the other side. He brought his 8 card. That was to be expected, just because they are the royal guard. Effectively, they're meant to protect him and wherever he goes. He said it's because the city would be concerned if suddenly the leader was gone and the guards were still there. But they aren't going to be involved in the conversation. They'll be there, but they're not going to be necessarily involved. Is everybody ready?
Yep, as I hold a lighter to a book.
Okay. Yeah. So are you going to be creating your effectively making the effigies for Tiamat and Bahamut?
I have the silver in hand and I'm ready to put it into the payphone.
All right. Are you doing that before he enters, or are you doing that when he enters?
No, we want them here a little bit before so we can
Yeah.
just go over our game plan with them there.
Okay.
Why do we wait till they showed up to do this?
Because they only have a set amount of time that they can be here.
Either
We
how long
wanted,
is
as
that time
mu-
frame?
we wanted to maximize our time in the negotiations with them.
Max,
And
he
if
said.
things go south, the combat.
Hopefully
Right.
we could avoid
Well, I
that.
guess at this point, if you just want to play for me as well, that's fine, dude.
You can summon Tiamat if you want. Tiamat
Yeah, I'll
seems to
summon
have yeah. Tiamat doesn't seem to have as long of a. When she was conversing with you, it was she was effectively able to be in physical form for about an hour. You're not sure about Bahamut's, and this is probably the one and only time you'll be able to do it, which might be why it's a little bit more hesitant on the time frame, because who knows how long that lasts.
Well, hopefully the discussion doesn't go for an hour.
Who knows? Hopefully not an hour in real life, though it might.
It might.
Let's just assume it will be an hour.
Hopefully it won't be an hour, and hopefully combat won't take an hour
What do you mean combat?
if it comes to that.
What do you mean?
If it comes to that.
Dude, if combat was a thing, you would be. I feel like you guys would just leave. There would not be a combat. Or attempt to, but you know. Anyways.
Yeah, we have a gopher, so.
Yeah.
So, the barn doors press open, and walking in, you can see in the golden and white plated armors of the head figure of the Church to Bahamut walks in. As he walks in,
Tyler, sorry.
yes,
Quickly, I was just gonna ritual cast detect magic before he showed up.
okay, sure.
Yeah, okay. Boop. That's it.
The door becomes magic. Well, okay, so actually, you
Don't
cast
worry.
Detect Magic,
Yep.
and it are immediately blinded for 6 seconds. As the entire surrounding is coated in these copper specks that seem to reflect off the light and begins to blind you.
There's
You
no
won't
way I
be-
could like
You won't be able to use Detect Magic in here, as the entire surrounding is coated in a massive layer of magic that seems to block out sight on other magics. You look down at Ira, and Ira's just coated in the same magic from the scales. You're not going to be able to register new magic.
damn.
I
Okay.
assume it suddenly looks like he's looking through like night vision during the day.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot of that, but also imagine if suddenly he was also looking through a kaleidoscope. Just the differing colors reflecting off would start to just make you go mad.
I'll keep casting it until I can see.
But you wipe your eyes and you're good to go. The doors open, and as it opens, the gold and white plated armor of the Pope walks in. His face is immediately in shock, seeing who's here. He forcibly opens both of the doors with his hands, and the 8 guards that are there, one being of an elvish woman, walks up beside him, once again in gold and white plated armor, though the Pope's has this red sort of drape behind him. And what in the 9 hells are they doing here?
Would you care to join us for some cranberry wine?
For pours
I enjoy
pours it
the
into a
fact
glass.
that he walks into us, his
Ooh,
two
hang on.
dragon friends, his god, and then the enemy, the former enemy of his god, all just sitting here.
Would he feel comfortable if Tiamat poured him the wine?
Yeah.
He might shoot you, just
No.
for just
Oh.
suggesting that.
Oh.
So,
Damn.
because this is a complicated situation, the doors swing open. The 9 of them take one step in, and the guards close the doors behind. He scours the room, looking at every single person. He sees Tiamat especially, and then everybody else there. Are you summoning Bahamut now?
Bahamut was summoned before he walked.
Before he entered. Okay.
We
I
wanted a
wasn't
few
sure.
minutes to just have game plan time with Tiamat and Bahamut.
Okay, gotcha. So, redacting a little bit. Summoning Bahamut, you ignite the sigil, and it encompasses the book. And as it encompasses the book, you can see it sort of sit on the ground. It flips to the first page, and you can see the page itself is singeing slightly, and it's beginning to sort of burn away the first page. As it does, a figure emerges from the cloud of smoke that is encompassing the book. It is a humanoid, though the features of it are difficult to grasp. The coloration to it is almost reflective and transparent, almost like a translucent image. The eyes themselves seem to have this sort of metallic hue of the chromatic colors, just because, I mean, the metallic dragons are still similarly chromatically colored and so on and so forth, but they have this metallic hue to them. Is you can't necessarily determine that it's skin, as it is a translucent image, but light seems to reflect off of it, like a refraction almost. So it gives off this presence of an entity, an otherworldly entity, nevertheless, that is emerging from this tome. Having a few minutes to discuss what your plan is to discuss with about how this. So, what was it that you guys are even trying to discuss? It's about this third entity and the war that's going to be besieging El Terrell,
pretty
correct?
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much
And
at least.
pretty much saying
get
we need to work
him
together to
on
stop
our
this
side.
third party.
Two people were talking. Ryder, what are you doing? Or what was it?
We're just gonna discuss some. Oh, we have a bigger threat that these two aren't really involved with, so we need to all work together to overcome it
Coming to a
and put our
truce.
differences aside for now. Yes.
Okay. Just want to reiterate that one. So,
Which is, I said that a little shorter. It's all.
it's fine. Okay, so now we're back into this place. He sees everybody here, sees Tiamat, and then his eyes lock with this entity. For a moment, he's paused. His posture shifts. Everybody behind him is curious. They don't actually seem to recognize who this is. But he goes on one knee, head straight down, fist into the dirt. Bahamut. The Platinum Dragon. And as he says that, everybody behind him all does the same pose, except the 7 guards. They lay their weapons into the dirt as well and put both hands onto the ground instead of just the one fist. Through a level of order, it seems that the Pope and the right hand just have a different posture, effectively. No big differences there. You grace us with this pleasure of being within your presence. And in a odd tone of voice, this being speaks out. I'm going to say it in one way, but in game, effectively listen to him like he's speaking in Latin. It's very difficult to grab the information as it is of this sort of fluff wording and script almost type of speech. You can see that as this entity is here longer, the pages are slowly burning away from the book. Slowly. It's going to take some time, especially considering this book has 100 or so pages in it. It's going to take some time for it to dissipate. If you want to look at it from an actual quantifiable standard, it's about a page. It's about 2 pages every minute. So you can estimate you have about 50 minutes.
So roughly, they're both here for about an hour.
About an hour, yes. If you're really
We'll just-
intuitive
we'll
on
just
how
simple
long
say
these
half an
pages,
hour each.
they both have an hour, yes. It's just, that's as long as it is.
You better make this quick before you lose your book.
Well, so
Eh.
after, so he starts speaking in this sort of Latin expression that roughly translates to, "Your actions have brought ruin to the church. This must be rectified through forcible means, including deception of necessary gains. Raise your head, so we may all discuss the next course of action in order to protect this world." And as he says this, all of the guards, including and him, also rise up, standing. They reposture themselves, them grabbing their weapons. And while the 7 guards stay near the door, the Pope and oh wow! Thank you for the raid, Okomi. Holy shit!
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey,
We just got
Hey,
into
welcome.
some serious text. Thank you. Oh, thank you guys. I don't have the alerts on because we were doing some D&D, but I was trying to. We got into some serious business involving the head figure of the Church of Bahamut, discussing now with Bahamut, Tiamat,
And
the
Tiamat.
party, and a few others that are directly involved. Oh, you finished some D&D yourself? Nice. Hopefully it went well. So, as the two approach you, the head figure of the church and his right hand, they both pull seats and they sit down with the 5 of you. Vaughn is standing in the back with the mistress in her copper dragon form, and the Grand Maven stands at the side of the table between the two of you, effectively.
Time is limited.
Then we will get
We must
right to it.
get to the chase. We need to work together.
He
The
pitches
threat of
in.
the cult is
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
the threat of the cult is getting out of hand, and both parties want to see an end to it. And without each other's cooperation, I do not believe that we will not be able to defeat the cult from where they stand now.
And
He
to
looks over.
understand the severity of the cult, you must. It's where the information about your wife comes from. The night she lost her life, and you took the life of the one who took it from her. Both were lost to the and neither of the respected gods saw their power that they had gifted those two returned. They were taken somehow by something else.
He looks over his shoulder, looking at the entity that he recognized as Bahamut, who looks down at him, and there's no actual communication between the two, but you can see that there is genuine concern coming off of his face. And nobody knows where it went.
No.
He looks over his shoulder, on his other shoulder, looking at the effigy that is Tiamat at this point, the humanoid woman that's just there with red hair well, multicolored hair, but beside the point. And once again, there's no actual communication, but he seems to register that she does not know where it went either. He leans forwards, his hands clasped together. And so I guess my question is then, who is it that we have been fighting? The Church of Bahamut has been fighting the Cult of the Dragons since well before the lands were even split. Ancestors long. We have been under the influence, or rather, the direction that we have been fighting against her. And that's when Tiamat pitches in. Since gambling everything to come back, my perspective has changed. My likeness has changed. And that likeness has changed the cult itself. I'm not in control of them. I once was, and no longer have been, for well over a few years even. Since before your wife was killed. Since before any of this happened again. The moment I made the decision to split and do everything in my power to come back, I have been anew. You can see that there's actually some, from your side of the table, so perspective-wise, they're sitting in front of you. Behind them is the effigies of Bahamut to his left, and then Tiamat to his right, and then beyond them is the 7 guards. At the door to the barn. This decrepit old barn that you have effectively... If things were to go bad, this barn is toast. Like, that's all that's happening here.
Yeah.
Only reason this isn't
cranberry
happening
wine.
in
What
this...
can go wrong?
There's cranberry wine.
What wine? What do you need?
Mayonnaise and
We
wine.
literally have a charcuterie board out.
I got the bowl of mustard if everyone wants that too.
The alchemy jug.
So to answer your question, I guess we've been fighting the cult itself, no longer Tiamat, for a while now.
We have a feeling they don't know that they're not following Tiamat anymore.
A better way to put it, Tiamat pitches in, or the effigy of Tiamat pitches in. They believe they are. But what they're doing, everything they're doing, has been without my direction. They're still under the belief that they're working under me, but I have lost control of them. They once were. They once were doing what I desired. Before. And Bahamut, to his right, or from I'm now looking at it from like I'm in his perspective, so I'm facing him.
We're just all sitting around a table. It's a big round table.
Yes. Bahamut, speaking once again in that sort of Latin style, older translated speech for what I will be saying. Thank you, Pyromaniac, for the follow. The actions of the past and the actions of the present signify two different entities, yet both are Tiamat. One in the past and one in the present. they themselves are the same, their actions show different. Keep your mind and vision open, as this will develop into a different war. The Grand Maven pitches in. I've seen a difference, seen a change in the people especially. From what Bahamut has bestowed upon me, being the voice and sight and liveliness of civilization itself and society, times are different, times have changed, and the actions of the smaller folk are even the ones changing this battle. An uprising of spirit. The actions between the cult and the church have been impacting those. But in this new era, especially between the all or nothing gamble that both Bahamut and Tiamat have done, the hands are in the people. No longer just the cult, and no longer just the church. In order to win sides in this war, we have to unify and no longer keep to ourselves. The church is not the only one waging war at this point. The people themselves are uprising and trying to wage against the cult. They just need more drive. They just need more help in doing so. He looks around, looks to you all, leans in and looks directly at Ryder. Ryder, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, well, you're gonna let me... give me like 2 seconds. My thing's being weird.
Would you like me to
There we
roll
go.
a d20 for you?
No, I got it, I got it, I got
I
it.
roll his save for him.
Yeah, would you like the DM to roll it for you?
I got a 21. No, 29.
29. Okay.
Yeah.
You stay locked in eyes. And for a moment, you can feel that there's this inkling that's going to drive you, much like what happened before. And unlike before, where you suddenly lost vision and lost the ability to hold your own status, nothing seems to happen. There's just this aura between his eyes and you that seems to blur out everything else. Yet you stay stagnant, you stay stationary.
The Pope did this, right?
Yep.
Oh,
This is, to put into perspective, the same thing that happened the first time you experienced with him. And how
that was a long time ago. What was
it was. Basically, he created a vision through you.
Okay. Oh,
And
oh,
that
so I'm
vision
seeing-
was of the massive body of a dragon with a massive golden orb that was like coursing with magic and all that stuff. It was the same
Okay.
vein, same effect, but this time, unlike before, you hold a resilience to it. And after a few seconds of this, he takes his eyes back and he blinks. He looks over to Rex. His eyes kind of flicker between the two of you. You're no longer holding the malice of Tiamat. You no longer are cursed. How?
How, you ask?
Well, we...
I would say the simplest way to put it would be we literally reverse the curse? Did it in reverse?
I want to hear from them. How did you reverse this curse?
It was a multi-step process. I guess the first thing was to find out how we became of the curse first. Once we found out, we had to go to. Oh, go ahead, Rex.
Then you have to go search of these black
Bubbling.
bubbly vials that contain your memory of death.
Of death? Are you trying to imply to me that you've died? And that is how you got cursed?
That's the only way for us to get cursed. From dying and being brought back from Tiamat's boon. While
Look.
being back to life, acquiring her curse.
So
So
everyone,
once we.
each one that bears this malice, this curse of Tiamat, they have died, is what you're saying.
Most likely. Yes.
Given the evidence that we've seen and witnessed ourselves, I believe everybody has the boon from Tiamat died and somehow brought back. with
And they
this.
don't have no recollection of how they fell.
He looks over to each of the effigies of the gods, and once again, no actual interaction, but you can see that his demeanor completely shifts.
Like, is his demeanor more like denial, or
I would
It's
like
more relaxed.
I would like you to make an insight check, Rex.
Ooh, you got this, Kel.
Yeah.
Ryder, you can make one as well, being part of this conversation, talking about
let
the
me-
curses.
Let me tell you, wow, that's not that bad, I guess.
can you make me roll right now?
Well, yeah.
I got a 16.
This is a game of dice.
I know.
16 from
Eating
me.
a snack.
Snake eyes.
16, you said? Snake eyes on a d20.
Say 16.
No, that's what
Oh,
Ryder
roll.
got. Ryder got a 16. That's what I was saying.
I got 21.
Okay.
21?
Ryder, you see that he's anxious. He's growing more and more anxious as more is being told to him. Rex, there's a layer of... So you see the exact same thing. You see him getting anxious. You also see him almost housing a layer of regret. I see. So those that have died and been brought back utilizing this substance or curse, they don't have the recollection of their own death. The boons from Bahamut and Tiamat, the chosen few, from my wife and my fallen foe, they disappeared. Leading to believe there is a third side of this war, like you're saying. The occurrence of these curses stemming from the cult, of which the actions are their own under the guise that they're working for Tiamat still. This is a lot to take in. I can now understand why this room had to be assembled. My actions were
Like
hasty.
you finally see it.
Though from a standpoint of the church, I had to go under the assumption that you were members, even if it was unwilling, at that time. And I do apologize for what I may have said or done during our first meeting.
Well, I thank you for your apology, and finally seeing who truly is the enemy here. But again, now you understand the situation. We need to cut to the chase, with the two here being here on limited time. Will you help us fight the cult and put aside all differences for the better cause?
Make me a persuasion check with advantage. And I will tell you that there is
Oh.
an additional modifier to it.
Okay, 30.
So 40.
Ready?
What? Oh.
What? You
uh,
actually roll 30?
no,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
plus
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, he's very persuasive.
I'm, yes. Eh.
There is a moment. There's a beat. Ira, I'm gonna need you to make me an insight check. Insight or perception.
Who? Me?
Ira.
Oh, Ira.
Insight or perception?
Mm-hmm.
Go insight. 28.
You can see he looks to your palm several times, as well as he sees a recognition in it. He stands up from the table. He waves his hands, and the 7 guards open the door. And he ushers them outside. He points to his right hand, and they stand up and walk out as well. He closes the doors behind him. You can see he's tensing. You can see every fiber of his body is trying to hold back. And in a few moments, his body begins to crack. Mass seems to start to form around him as he lurches towards you. But he keeps it contained. His body takes hold once again. That mass seems to disperse. He's staring at Tiamat, staring directly at her, clenching every muscle in his body. You have my aid. But know this, you wretched woman. If you are deceiving me, I will destroy the 9 hells to get to you. There will be no place safe from me. And he slams the doors open and walks out.
You forgot your cheese.
With that
and
wine.
your cranberry wine that we made especially for you.
One of the guards comes
Goes
around the
back
corner.
angrily.
You just hear him stomping outside. Grab me the drinks. We're leaving.
Bring me the cheese. Make sure it's the Munster.
I look around with the slightly confused look. So we did it?
Oh, yeah, of course. He's not happy about.
You did ask him
Siding with
to.
Tiamat.
Yes, you asked him to
Matt,
side
it's-
with what he has been fighting for many years and what effectively took his wife. Having to come to terms with that is a feat in of itself.
At the same time, to learn that potentially that there's somebody else brought about this conflict on purpose.
You can see that after a moment, bones cracking, body remorphing, the copper dragon, the mistress, reforms. I thought he was going to lose it there. You can see that both her and the Grand Maven are sweating profusely. It wouldn't have gone well. Say long. Just look over and he's just tongue out straight at me. Hi, bud. He might have been concerned when I yelled. Buddy,
he's
it's
like,
okay.
he's like, Father, what?
Father, don't do it. I was sleeping. So, you have been given the aid of the Church of Bahamut. The pages continue to burn from the book. The entity looks at you, Felix. Speaking once again in the Latin, being translated. The actions made at this table will alter the direction of this entire war. Felix, you have chosen the right path for this. Though you will not have my contact, you will have my support. Oh, say them. Hi. And in due time, our bond will grow once again. You little shit. That is my dice. You dice goblin.
Salem has come.
So, though we will be separated physically, I will be there to drive your magic further. Take care. And with that, the book continues to burn until all the pages have ceased and the tome dissipates. Tiamat, also now, the effigy for Tiamat now dispersing. If there's something that you need, Ira, just let me know. I will do what I can, but you're all capable. Each and every one of you. And unlike him, you can just call me back. And with that, there's like a puff of smoke, and the effigy disappears. So now it's just you all, Vaughn, the mistress, and the Grand Maven, now sitting in a barn that was just about to get destroyed. So,
Pat Felix in the back and say, I know how much you love the book, but you have to let it go.
And I reform another book that is physically less magical.
you form
Still
a
exactly
book.
the same.
That is a book.
A book.
So, what is everybody doing? Do we want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
One little break.
Just a
Tiny
short,
little
yeah, we'll just take a short 5-10 minute break, and then we'll come back too, so that way you guys can decide what your next task is going to be. Thank you, Raiders, for hopping in. That was quite the scene to just immediately jump in on.
Yeah, it really was.
Missed about 4 years of context.
Literally. It's a lot of exposition. Well, I wouldn't even necessarily say it was exposition. It's exposition for somebody who didn't know it was already happening. It was persuading an entity that would have obliterated them. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. We will be back here shortly. We will see you again on another Misrolled adventure.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.